Okay, so the latest transfer news. I'm going to try and unravel the Christian Eriksen and possible replacements of Giovani Lo Celso, Dani Olmo and Dani Ceballos at Real Madrid. We're going to look at all the reports coming out, and then I'll give you my take on what I believe is likely to happen on this one. Now, I've done an analysis profile of Giovani Lo Celso in a video about a month ago, if you want to go back and have a look at that. So I won't go too much into his profile, his stats, where he's been, his history. Dani Olmo, I did a superb player, by the way. You know, I'm really excited about this player. Did a profile when Liverpool were first linked to him about a week ago. So again, if you want to have a look at that one. And I haven't yet done a profile on Dani Ceballos because it's one I don't think is likely to happen. Now, let's run through the different reports and scenarios, and then I'll see if I can put some clarity to what I believe will happen on this one. Obviously, we're all aware Eriksen has said he would like to leave. He really wants to leave to a club that he believes are better than Tottenham Hotspur, and you know, without pulling any punches, Real Madrid are the club he wants to go to. Now, Real Madrid have bought an awful lot of players: Eden Hazard, Jovic. They are heavily linked to Pogba, and we understand that Zidane has Pogba as his first choice target. Now, to comply with financial fair play rules, they're going to have to do a lot of selling if they take Pogba or Eriksen. They will need to sell some players. Now, from Tottenham Hotspur point of view, the ideal scenario would be Real Madrid offer them 70, 80, 90 million pounds, and then that leaves them free to go out into the market with a hatful of money and buy the player that they want as their number one replacement. Now, that number one replacement I see as Giovani Lo Celso, and talks have been ongoing between Spurs and Giovani Lo Celso, and the stumbling block is reported as the price. Spurs obviously have set the bar with Ndombele at about 65 million. Real Betis want somewhere in the region of sort of 70, 80 million. Now, on the face of it, that's not too far apart. 63, 65 to 70, 75 million, not too far apart. So why is the deal not being done? Now, I don't think Lo Celso will come to Spurs until the Eriksen situation is sorted. I also don't think Levy will want to sanction a sort of 70 million figure transfer until he's sorted out Eriksen. But I believe Lo Celso is the number one target, and if Eriksen is sold, he will come. If Eriksen isn't sold, I don't believe Lo Celso will come to Tottenham Hotspur. Now, just to throw a slight confusion into the market, AS have reported that Real Madrid are preparing a player plus cash offer for Eriksen, which is Dani Ceballos, plus 30 million euros for Eriksen. Now, on the face of it, you think, well, does that make good sense? You know, it basically solves the problem of Eriksen leaving on a free transfer next year. It gets some money into the kitty, and it gets what is a world-class player, under 22 Spanish international. Now, Dani Ceballos, just give you a little bit of background on him. He's a super player, very well thought of in Spain, and he really just has been in that unfortunate position where the big name players ahead of him in the pecking order. But I think his time, if he's put his head down and stayed at Real Madrid, I think his time would come at Real Madrid. He's 22 now. As he approaches 23, 24, strengthens, matures and develops his game, I think it'll be an equal for any of those. But at the moment, it isn't. Now, the problem for Tottenham Hotspur here is that Dani Ceballos has sort of indicated that he sees his long-term future at Real Madrid. He would prefer a loan deal, the player would. I think Real Madrid would prefer a loan deal because I think they see him as a future player for Real Madrid on a regular basis. And there's also talk that Real Madrid will want some form of buyback clause into the agreement. Now, I cannot see Daniel Levy or any other chairman or manager really wanting to take a top club wanting to take a player on loan for a year and basically put the nose out of current players that are there. I can't see him come in with a buyback clause. It just doesn't make good business sense. If you're paying good money for a player, you want him in for a few years, and chairmen have always got their eye on selling him on for a good fee. So at 22, they're sort of saying 5-year contract, and then if he wanted to move to Real Madrid, to Barcelona, to one of these Spanish clubs, then there's still a good fee there to get them. And you know, there's plenty of examples, players going at 26, 27 years old for big fees. So I don't believe Dani Ceballos will come to Spurs. So that leaves another option, which is Dani Olmo. Now, if you look at the profile video I did when he was linked to Liverpool, he's a superb player, 21 years old. He's known as a winger, as an attacker, but I'm reliably informed he's a very, very good box-to-box midfielder. He came through the Barcelona Youth Academy from age 9. At age 16, he made a very strategic development move for himself and moved to Dinamo Zagreb. And they're seen as a very good club to nurture young talent. And Tottenham Hotspur will be aware, you know, Luka Modric, fans will be aware Luka Modric came out of Dinamo Zagreb. But there's a whole host of top players that have developed through from a young age and come out of there. So they're a superb club for giving a young talented player game time and also developing their career. Now, he signed for them age 16, and you know, he made his senior debut for them age 16 as well. So he was straight into the thing. Now he's been named Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year. He's even been offered citizenship for Croatia, so he can play for their national side, which he's declined. They absolutely love this player at Dinamo Zagreb. They think he's the best player, best young player they've ever seen. He's got everything. Now, briefly go through his stats last year, but he's developed. You can see from his stats, again, if you look at my profile video, his stats have developed year after year. You know, last year in the 18-19 season, age 20, 44 appearances, 12 goals, 9 assists, also played in the Europa League, of which included in that is 10 matches, 2 goals, 4 assists. So he has got that you know, European experience. He's played internationally under 21 as well. Now, he would be a superb fit if Eriksen is sold. But I also believe that Spurs, well, they're in talks, were reported with Dinamo Zagreb, and they get on very well. They've obviously done the deal with Modric in the past, so there's good relations there. Olmo, you're talking 35, 40, 45 million. Now, I believe that even if Eriksen doesn't leave, Tottenham are doing everything they can to secure this signing, because if Eriksen doesn't leave this year, potentially could leave next year. If Levy ties him into a contract, then he's back in the driving seat of when he plays him, when he sells him, etc. And I feel Dani Olmo is a signing that will come to Tottenham Hotspur, providing all the right prices, personal negotiations take place. I think that will be a signing with or without Eriksen. It'll be up to Pochettino to persuade Dani Olmo that, you know, he's going to get the game time. I don't know if he's just quite at that level where he's a full-time first-team regular straight into the side, but I think he's very, very near, and I think it may well be, if Eriksen doesn't leave, he will play Eriksen and Olmo as a sort of in and out pair to help develop Olmo through the first season. So at the moment we've got potential Eriksen sold to Real Madrid, Ceballos coming in plus cash. Don't think that one will happen. Talks between Tottenham Hotspur and Dinamo Zagreb with Dani Olmo underway, and I would expect that transfer not to be dependent on the Eriksen sale. Now, we can all be proved wrong, lots of things can happen, and there's still a long way to go in this transfer window, but I think Dani Olmo will come whether or not Eriksen is sold, or everything will be done to try and bring him. Will Eriksen be sold? I think this one's going to be a tough one. I know a lot of Spurs fans now would like to see him gone. You know, he has got a terrific Spurs history, and it's a shame to lose a player of that quality. But I think the ideal scenario is he's either sold outright to Real Madrid for a good fee, bring Lo Celso in, and also Dani Olmo, or keep him with or without a contract and bring Dani Olmo in and nurture Dani Olmo through that first season with a view that he becomes his long-term replacement. Now we'll see how this one unfolds. Like I say, have a look if you don't know much about Giovani Lo Celso. Have a look at that video I did about a month ago on him to get his full stats, etc. And again, also Dani Olmo, the one I did when he was linked to Liverpool about a week ago. It'd be interesting to see how this one unfolds. I think there's a lot of work being done behind the scenes. I don't think Tottenham are done on their transfer activity yet. I think there's one, possibly two more big signings to come in that midfield attacking role. So we'll see how it pans out. Let me know your comments on all of those. It's a pretty confusing situation what's happening. Let me know in your comments on those players and who you'd like to see come and go, and would you like to see one or two, and if you like the channel, please subscribe, and thanks again very much for watching the videos.